Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome to another vlog. I am done for the week and I'm really excited because it's Friday and I have zero plans this weekend, which means I get to sew and clean and do all the things that I want to do without having to have any obligations. And that's really rare in my world. It's never ever that I have an entire weekend with no plans. So I'm super excited. I have a lot of things to talk to you guys about, so let's get cracking. Okay, so as to what's gonna happen hopefully this week, I put black dots next to everything I want to work on, whether or not it's finished, but I want to finish binding my stays. We had a major setback and I will talk to you about that. I do want to just knock this out and get the trim fixed here so I can just wipe this off the board. I would love to start looking at this. The problem is, for the Ravenclaw dress, I don't have any more of this fabric, but I do have more of that fabric, so I might be doing it in that. I do have my Giganto hat, which I still like, don't get me wrong. It's just it's really hard to travel with, so if I'm gonna be in the area I will wear the Giganto hat, and if not, I want a small one to travel with. So I might work on the buckram form for this, we'll see. I want to look at ordering new fabric for the skirt for the Cheshire Cat bustle, because I would like to get that back it's out of commission, so I want to get it in commission, I guess. I don't know how to say that anyway. So I want to work on that guy. I want to at least think about this and figure out if I need a pattern or something. So my shift pattern has a gusset in it because it is a 18th century shift, and the gusset makes it really hard to not have sleeves. I want it to be sleeveless, this thing that I'm making. So basically I want a Regency tank top. So I gotta figure out how to do that without having to have, do I need a new pattern? I need to look at my patterns and see what I have. I need to figure out what. So I need to work on this. What else is on here? Oh, I also wanna figure out a pattern for this situation. So I can get cracking on at least some of it. I'm not really ready to start medium business, but I think I kind of want to work on something that's a whole new thing. A whole new garment. So this one makes me have to do the least amount of research. I am researching this right now and thinking about what I want to do. I'm still leaning towards 1880s. I know you all want me to do 1890s. I don't want to. So I'm not gonna. Well, I might, but I don't think so. Really, if I do late 1880s, I don't have to make a whole bunch of new undergarments is the thing, and I would really like to make this not be a 6-month long project. I would love to not have to make a new corset and not have to make a lot of new undergarments, so that's why I'm leaning towards this. So we will see what happens. So that is that. Let's talk about what's going on over here. I consulted with a bunch of my friends about these pins that I got last week that are supposedly 18th century pins. They are essentially nails. They are just nails. Look at that. They're crazy. They're so thick. And they are period. They are correct. I am not going to use them because I do not want to put this nail into my stays, which is something that happens in this process. You have to pin your rubs to your stays, and I'm absolutely not. That's not happening. So this is not happening is what I'm saying. So I've ordered new other pins. They're not quite as long as this. They're about 1.5 inches. They're just dressmakers pins, and these will get used to hang photos or something. I don't know. Jewelry. This is the thing that I bought for the polonaise, which goes with this dress. So that gray kind of coincides with this. Someone asked me where do I get my jewelry for costumes? She's like, oh my god, do you buy jewelry for this stuff? I'm like, yeah, because accessories actually make the outfit. And then she was like, hey, so where do you do that? Because I'm at a loss. So this one came from Veronica Rose Designs, looks like. I also buy stuff a lot from Lady to Tell on Etsy. I would say my answer is Etsy. I definitely buy from Damsel à la Mode all the time. Sign of the Grey Horse has some really great Etsy things too. So definitely recommend Etsy for buying jewelry for period events. So this does all come with a caveat, and the caveat is you still have to do your research, because like on Etsy they can mark whatever they want however they want it. So anybody can mark anything Regency or Victorian or whatever. So you still have to like look at photos and do stuff like, is this perfect? No. No, it's not perfect, but is it good enough? Yes. And am I fine with it? Yes, because my dress is plastic, so what else with this? Cameos were a thing, right? So I'm happy with this, and it's on a ribbon, so that's period accurate. And is it perfect? No. Could I get a period accurate one perfect? Yeah, but it would be a lot more expensive. Yeah, so I'm not going to. But like, I bought the stuff when I went on my trip. That's all pretty period accurate, so definitely recommend Damsel à la Mode. I will link some of these people down below for you so that you have access to them, but definitely just look on Etsy, but do your research. Fear not, I am going to talk to you about that little beauty later. I think I'm just going to show you guys my entire antique parasol collection because a bunch of people have been asking me to do that, and I got a new one, as you can see. That's my finger. All right, we've had a minor setback also. I was binding the situation. Some of this binding is not my best work, but it's getting better as it's going. And it's definitely stronger. It's like a lot stronger. Anyway, this is, as I told you, was a single fold bias tape. I went back to Joanne today because I realized like by the time I got to the end of this, I was gonna be like here. So that sucks, because I need like that much, always. So anyway, I went and got more, but they don't have single fold. They only have double fold red. And is this the exact same color? Yeah, okay, great. So I have to go through and like cut off basically a bunch of this on the inside. You won't see it from the outside, and it's not a big deal for how this thing goes together, but it is a pain in the butt for just general annoyance. I bought two because I was afraid I was gonna have to go back again when I do the top. So anyway, minor setback, but also minor setback because now I have to join these like while I'm luckily I stopped far enough back. I was gonna keep going and just get to the end of it, and then I was like, no, I need to wait because then I have to have room to stick this in the sewing machine to join them at least, so that I can at least finish this bottom section. So anyway, that's what's going on around here. I am super pumped for this amount of time. And then next weekend, okay, we have a long weekend because it's Veterans Day on Monday, so woo woo, that's exciting. And then it starts like long weekend season because we have Thanksgiving at the end of the month. Yes, I'm gonna be in London and I'm gonna take you guys with me. My husband didn't go, obviously, on the last trip, and so he really likes going to London around Christmas time, so I'll take you there and I'll show you London at Christmas time. It is so beautiful. Unfortunately, I'm going and I'm coming back like literally, I think a week or two before Bernadette goes, so I'm not gonna see her in London, but next time I go to London in May, she'll be there. Yeah, so I have an exciting few weeks coming up, and then I think right after that is like Christmas craziness. So Christmas craziness time, I don't know what's gonna happen with this channel. I'm definitely gonna post as much as possible, but we have like events all weekend, every weekend, so, and then I'm always like prepping like presents and whatever. So videos may be sparse, is what I'm saying about that. And it's the most wonderful time of the year on YouTube because they give, like, you get more money per video because it's like holiday advertising season, so. But I do not take advantage of it because to me, my friendships and time at the holidays with my buddies is far more important. So I'm gonna enjoy that. But expect a little bit of posting chaos during December. That's gonna be a thing. But November should be pretty good. In fact, you might get extra, because if I'm posting from England, I'll probably post every couple days from there. Like, is anything happening else? Oh, next weekend I'm going to LA and I'm gonna go see Coco live in concert with my friend Sarah, and I'm only gonna be gone for like 24 hours. Like, we're flying out one morning and coming back the next morning. So those of you who know the Disney movie Coco, they do it live at the Hollywood Bowl, and I'm gonna go down there and see that. I can't really film that because it's copyrighted, so sorry, otherwise I would. All right, so I'm gonna go try to merge these things so that I can get the last few inches out of this binding and get the front sewn on and then be done with that. Woo woo. I think I need to like steam some parts of this, and I think I'm gonna cut down one of these bones because it's sticking out really far and I don't like it. and it would be easier just to trim it down and then re-plasti dip it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I have to go down and make sure I know where my plasti dip is, but it means I can't sew the back on it until tomorrow because I need to let that dry. So that's the situation. I can show you that process when it happens. Okay, I'm gonna go investigate all this stuff. I'll be back. This is the one in question. It is just like too long by just an annoying amount. So I just need to take this down like not even a half of an inch, right? So what I'm gonna do is pull this out and I'm gonna put a pin in here, one-handed with my left hand to remind me where it goes, and then I'm going to clip it. And lest you guys freak out, I will be using safety glasses and boning clippers, and I will go ahead and clip the end of this down just a little bit. I will file it into a nice curve using my metal file, and then I will use plasti dip on the end. This is spray, so I have to go in the garage and do it, and that's sort of gross and loud and whatever, so I'm not gonna take you guys in there. But I just spray it once or twice, and then I hang it with a clothespin from like a hanger, and like, you know, just like this basically, and I let it hang overnight so it forms a little edge on the bottom, but then also dries without touching anything, and I let it dry overnight, and then I'm gonna shove it back in there, and then I'm gonna sew it in so it can't fall out. So there was one more package. I don't remember if I showed this in my vlog when I was in London, but when I was out at Portobello Road with Deanne, we found an antique store that had this in it. I do not believe this is an actual antique. I think they had this made and painted, but I was super smitten because it's like Victoriana, like faux, and it is balloon related, and I love hot air balloons, and like these things are all 3D and that's fun. So I had it shipped home to me because I was like, nope, I'm in love. So it has finally arrived. A little bit worse for wear. This was all on there, like it is, you know, antiqued or whatever, but like the thing that holds it on was this weird like rope situation, but also this broke off. It broke off into there, but it was off center anyway. It's not actually even with the side on the other side of it. Basically, I need to get a new hanger for it. I also kind of wanted to talk to you guys about my level of denial. So I got that bin and that bin to hold the stuff that I got when I was in London and France, and thinking like, oh, I gotta put that out where I can see it, so I use it. I'm in complete denial of this entire area. To be fair, that's Cabbage Patch, so that's always gonna be there. This came from London, but like, it's stuff I need to put away with no place to put it, so rad. This came from like largely, I don't remember who I got this from. Someone on Instagram sold me this. I have this weird thing that it might be dystopia, but I'm not sure. If you're watching this, let me know. There's all this fabric from New York that I bought. Does not have a home. These cabinets are like packed. Like there's no more space for any more stuff in here. Oh, but there's a little bit right there, so I could put something right there. This is like the silk area, which is good because I have some silk. So yeah, I'm in giant denial. And then there's this whole situation over here. So part of this is because I do want to do a video on making holiday wreath Disney ears. Are you guys interested in that? Should I put it up for you guys? Should I put it on some other channel so you don't have to look at it? This is spoilers for my friends who might be watching, but trust me, my friends who live, like, that I've been friends with for 20 years do not watch these videos. Anyway, some of these are going to be Christmas presents for you guys. Anyway, I bought this stuff all like on clearance after the holidays last year, intending on making these ears at some point, and it's November, so gotta do that soon. So I need to like find homes for this whole area except the Cabbage Patch. The Cabbage Patch is the only thing that's like allowed to be here, and really it should be under here. I'm just standing here thinking about my shame. Yeah, I really do need to sew out of my stash. That's just the end of it. She says as she looks at a wall of things that are not out of her stash, like, maybe, maybe not, maybe not, probably not, yes to most of this, but to that, so let's sigh. I don't know. Gonna have to figure something out. There might be more bins going in under here. I should have bought more cabinets. There is actually a threat that I will go back to IKEA and just buy more cabinets and stick them under here, because that might be a thing that makes everything just become less shameful. So, oh, P.S. I bought this with no concept of where to put it in my house. Like, we already know that I need more space in here already. I love these, so you can trash talk them all you want, but these were drawn for me by very special people, although these two are covers of comic books, like the actual drawings they used for the covers. There's nowhere for me to put this thing in this room, so, whoa, that was me kicking the trash can. So I'm not sure, like, where this goes, so I'm gonna have to sit there and think about that for a while. Okay, I got the rest of the back, sorry, front done, and then halfway done with the back, and I got back to my pin, and so I have to wait until this is dry. I should go check it and see if it needs another dipping. Anyway, it's not like my best work in the world, but it's also not my worst work. So I'm pleased with it, like, not poking out anymore and all that stuff, so I'm really excited about that being done. I should be able to get this done obviously tomorrow. Not the top section, but maybe. I don't know if I'll work on it tomorrow for sure or not. I might try to, like, see about doing some other stuff. We'll see. But I think I am gonna go to bed now. It's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been, like, talking to people on the internet and stuff and whatever. But yeah, I have a weekend of fun and sewing ahead, so I'm actually really excited about it because it doesn't happen very often. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello, welcome to Saturday. I slept in like really late. Hello, welcome to Saturday. I slept in like really late, like noon. I'm nocturnal. I have been doing a little bit of the research part of this board, so I can say that I got some things done already. I did this. I bought a pattern. It was $50 because it's an out of print simplicity pattern. I can't believe I paid $50 for a simplicity pattern, but it's exactly what I wanted, so that's that. I also have a bead on this guy. And if I don't get if this doesn't work out, then basically I have to take that jacket, which sucks, to the fabric district with me next time and go look for a fabric because I don't know how to pattern or color match it over the internet. Like, it's just too hard. So I've contacted an Amazon shop that says that they can send swatches, but I can't figure out how to order it from them. So I'm trying to figure that out, but I've done this part. I did the research that I wanted to do on that. So we'll see if I can order the fabric. If I can get a swatch and it's good, then I'll order the fabric, and if not, then I will just take it to SoCal with me next time I go, which is actually next weekend, but I'm not going to the fabric district. So next time I go to the fabric district, I will take it with me, and then I will try to find some fabric that goes with it. So I think I'm back up here on rebinding the stays. I put the stay that I pulled out, sorry, the piece of boning that I pulled out and recut and plasti dipped. I pulled that out so I can go ahead and finish binding the bottom of these guys, so I think I'm gonna go do that now. Someone totally called me out, by the way, on my last video, and it was fine. They were like, you didn't tell us what you're watching and listening to, and I'm like, oh, you're right. I am still listening to Harry Potter book 4. I keep like listening to 5 minutes at a time. The problem with my brain fog is that I wander off a lot. So I could be listening to something for 5 minutes and then just stop it and start looking at Instagram or start watching a movie or whatever. I can't focus for very long. So it's been really hard for me to listen to audiobooks. Especially since I haven't been in here sewing. I've been like in my bedroom doing hand sewing kind of stuff, like with the power outage and whatever. So a lot of that time hasn't happened. So I'm still listening to audiobook book 4 of Harry Potter, starring Stephen Fry, not the American version, the British version. Last night I watched Vanity Fair with Reese Witherspoon. I have questions. Like, it's a rough outline of the story, yes, but they didn't make Becky Sharp seem like Becky Sharp at all. They made her seem like, I don't know, kind of like a victim, or like just a really sweet girl who happens to be in these circumstances. I'm like, no, Becky Sharp is like cunning, and you need to like make that super apparent, and they didn't. The Amazon Prime version of Vanity Fair, which is like I think 6 episodes, is amazing. Also, the costumes in the one last night were like, I mean, I'm not like the best at Regency, but like that they didn't seem right. They did not, they seem really wrong and stylized and so the ones in the Amazon version were perfect, and the hats, and oh, so good, so good. So I recommend the Amazon version. So that is my update for right now. I'm gonna go sew on the rest of this bottom binding and call the bottom binding done, which is gonna be very exciting for me. And then I have to figure out what I want to do about the top binding still, but we'll get there when we get there. Binding is on, complete. I also did a reevaluation of the top to see if it really needed to get redone, and I decided that no, it was actually mostly fine. There's just a couple little spots that needed a little love. I can't even find them anymore because I did a good job at giving them love. Like, this was messed up and I fixed it. So I just sort of like fixed all the spots that needed it, so I don't have to bind the top is what I've decided. There's no boning poking out the top, so as far as I'm concerned, that's good. I really also like tiny bone binding. Like, I just love it. And I hate big fat binding. This needed it, so I'm not like fussed about, you know, if it looks weird or whatever. It's just, it is how it is. But tiny binding is way better. I think next time I'm gonna cheat when if I do stays like this that are silk, and I am going to fray check every single edge all the way along this thing as I go when I cut it out, so that the bottom can't fray, and therefore I can use a smaller binding and it will hold better. And I will also obviously stitch it on myself and have it back stitched on so that nothing will pop out. So it just makes it look so much cleaner. Like, tiny binding doesn't do all this weird bubbling stuff that this big binding does, because there's just too much there to go around these curves. It's so much easier to go around curves when you've got tiny binding. Like, even these curves up here are like pretty tidy, as you can see. So I don't know. Next time, lesson learned. But for the meantime, I can come over here, and not only can I cross this off, I can get rid of this whole item. I think I'm also going to take off all the stuff that I've done and consolidate this board up so I can try to get everything that's to do on this edge, and then I can have new stuff, you know, medium business here, and then long-term business over here. So I will do some of that. For now, I'm gonna go get some pho with my husband because that sounds delicious. Super good news. I have a hat to go with my polonaise, which is that skirt. I thought I just borrowed this from Mia, but I think she actually gave it to me. So that's very exciting, because that means I can go cross this off. I don't need to make one. I might make another one again anyway sometime, but it's not like a UFO situation. So I'm really excited to find that. Sometimes UFOs take care of themselves, and in this case, this one did. She I guess had this. I don't know how she magically had it trimmed exactly how I needed it, but anyway, and I can pop this Christmas thing off if it's not Christmas time and put something else there. So anyway, that's very exciting. I have now, through the magic of Hollywood and, you know, like 16 stitches, done this. So that's off the list. So I'm gonna go ahead and reorganize this board and then come back and have another look at it and see what I want to work on next. All right, this board looks a lot cleaner. And I thought I would talk through some of this stuff. Trimming the skirt. So I'm doing a Hail Mary, and I ordered some velvet ribbon, which I'm gonna try, and if that works and it's a good color match, then great. And that will also make this happen, because this will mean I can use that same velvet ribbon on the jacket, or get some thinner but the same color on the jacket, and then these will be done. So I'm kind of on hold on these. I need to figure out what I want to use for this pattern to get this done. I do have bangs for Regency that I can definitely use that were made by Jenny LaFleur. I did kind of really love the ones that Lynn loaned me though, that were like a little bit more full and frizzy. So I don't know how to achieve that, so I'm gonna investigate that situation. I also wanted to make a bonnet like the one that I borrowed from her, and I have the pattern for it, so, or maybe I need to order that. Okay, I have to investigate this. The overdress, I have two different options for this. I have a friend who gave me a suggestion to make one, and then another one of you guys actually made me a pattern for the overdress, which I have and I want to print out and try. That being said, there's no like, I mean, I think she sent some level of instructions, but there's no instructions, so that would be a I don't know what I'm doing project, let's figure it out. The Française, I still need to think about this trimming the robe situation, what I want to do there, and dyeing the shoes. You know where we stand with the Cheshire Cat. This guy just texted me back, not texted, sent me an email back asking for my address so he can send me samples of the two fabrics he has. So I'm gonna get some samples and see whether or not that works out, and if it does, I'll order some fabric for that. And then I just need to make a smaller hat. And my UFO pile is done. Technically, this isn't really a UFO. This should really be over there, because it's not, my outfit is actually finished. Like, I could leave right now with it. So I'm gonna leave it here for now, but it may get moved over to there because it's kind of a new project, but I don't know. As you know, I ordered a pattern for this. I don't know what's happening with this. I don't know if the plan is still to wear something to Leavesden Studios, so I need to find out what's going on with that. I don't know if everyone's gonna have time to make something, and if not, then I'm not gonna make it a priority, and I will move that back over here. And it'll be a long-term business. Medium business is anything in like the next, let's just say 0 to 12 months that has a date associated with it. So this one is for sure needs to happen, and I need to think about that. So part of my process is to go ahead and look ahead at what's coming up and make sure that I'm actually prepared for those things. I don't wait until I'm at the space where I need to be working on that thing in order to go ahead and look stuff up for it and order things. I make sure I'm ordering whatever I need like far enough ahead in the process of doing other stuff so that it has time to arrive, so that when I'm ready to move on to that item, I actually have the stuff here. Which seems to be actually one of those things that people forget about a lot when they're doing like constant costume planning. They get an idea for something and then they just have to sit there and wait. And I'm like, well, I'm sitting there and waiting. I could be working on other things. So I make sure that I have a running list of stuff I can be working on, and a running list of stuff that I'm ordering so that I can be working on stuff later. So there are plenty of things on this board that I could be working on right this second, but I am going to go do research stuff right now because that does take time, and I have a little bit of time tonight. I might also go start editing the video that you're watching right now. Inception. Yeah, so I like to make sure that I sort of stagger order. Also, I make sure that you don't have to spend all the money at one time. You just kind of like constantly ordering the next thing you need, but not necessarily having to order, you know, $1 billion of stuff all at once, which, you know, occasionally happens, but hopefully not. Yeah, so I'm gonna go work on research stuff and see how that goes, and if I get bored with all that and I decide I have time to make a hat or something, I will come back here and do that. Hey guys, welcome to Sunday. I was a really bad vlogger today. I didn't really do anything. I'm a bad sewer today. I did do one thing, which was I went and I ordered a bunch of Lynn McMaster's patterns for the bonnet that I wanted to do for the Regency. And I think I might see her on Friday. There's some chance she'll be up in my area, so she's just gonna drop them off to me. along with equipment to make the bangs. So I basically sorted those two things. Apparently the instructions for that are online, which makes me really happy. And I will link the bangs tutorial down below if you want to see it. It was for those crazy like faux frizzy bangs that I had underneath the Regency bonnet. I'll put a picture here. They look crazy when you look at them, but they actually looked really good like on. So I don't know, I was into them. Today was weird. Okay, so today is Turn Your Clocks Back Day, which usually is my favorite day of the year. I just love this day because it means extra sleeping. I took a crazy shower, so I'm still kind of wet and damp here. So my cat Dakota, who I will put a picture of here, also their Instagram, the cat's Instagram will be linked down below for you. If you want to follow it, people seem to be really into them. She's been getting thin recently, like over the last like year or so. She's been getting thinner and thinner, and I'm like, you know, she's getting old, so sometimes cats just get skinny when they get old, but I was like, I think we should take her in for blood work just to see. And so my husband finally made an appointment for her, and we took her in today, and our like 30-minute appointment turned into a 3-hour situation in which she got crazy blood work done and like all different kinds of tests and stuff, and turns out her liver numbers are elevated, so, and she has some sort of minor infection, so they gave her antibiotics for the infection, and it might be that what's infected is actually her liver, so we have to find out that first. But we have another set of treatments that we have to give her, like medicine, for the next month to see if that makes her liver numbers go down, which is cool that we caught it. I feel really bad for her if she's in any kind of pain. But she's not really acting like she's in pain, and she's still like eating and drinking and pooping and all the things cats need to do. So she's extra cuddly though, which makes me think she's sick. You know, she knows she's sick. That's one of the things that made me go, oh, she's cuddling way more than normal, so we should definitely take her to the vet. If your cat cuddles you more than they used to cuddle you, and they do it like they flip a switch and start cuddling you, it usually means something's wrong. Well, at least with my cats, like all 7 of my cats act that way. If they start cuddling me a lot more than normal, like I have cats that are just super cuddly, and so therefore I just can't tell because they're cuddly all the time, but I have other cats that aren't, you know, as snuggly, and so when they become cuddly, I go, oh, something's wrong. Yeah, so anyway, I spent 3 hours at the vet today dealing with that, and then we went to Costco. Yeah, and we went to dinner. So I spent my whole day like basically doing that kind of stuff. I did get to sleep in, which was really cool. So yeah, and tomorrow I have to get up and be on a conference call at 5 a.m. because we're selling our company at 5 a.m. tomorrow. So I have to be on a call to do absolutely nothing for moral support, I guess. It is possible that something could go wrong and therefore I might be needed to help do some changes, but in all likelihood everything's gonna just be fine, and I didn't need to be up and on that call at all. But I'm gonna do it anyway because someone asked me to, and therefore, sure, why not? So I've been kind of chilling for the last couple hours and watching a little TV with my husband, which we don't do very often together, so that was nice. So that was my day. That is why I didn't sew today, and I'm kind of happy about that. Also, I'm at a place where I'm like waiting for a bunch of stuff. I could have possibly started on the Regency tank top situation. Sorry, I'm looking at my board in case anybody here is new and doesn't know what I'm looking at over there. I'm looking at my whiteboard. Whoop! Right there. That is telling me all the things that I need to be working on, specifically those right there, old business files. So I could have started on the Regency tank top corset cover situation. I think I'm just gonna like hack that together out of patterns and like change the pattern if I have to make it be what I need it to be out of the shift. So I'm gonna make a linen one, I guess. I kind of feel like I need to make 2. I need to make one for like under my corset and one for over my corset. That seems like a lot. Okay, so the problem here is that my corset is like natural colored. tan, flesh colored, I don't know, but you can absolutely see it even though there are 2 layers of dress between, like, there's a dress and then there's an underdress, and you can still see my corset through it. So I have to put another layer in there in order to make it so you can't see it through this one particular dress that I have. So anyway, I'm gonna do that. So but I could have started that today and I didn't. So I ordered patterns, which is a thing that I'm very good at. I'm so good at ordering patterns, guys. And I spent a lot of time doing that, and then I spent a lot of time answering comments today because I didn't answer them since I put the last video up, and it's been like 3 or 4 days, which I actually feel really bad about. I usually like to answer comments within the first 24 hours, but that was Halloween, and then life took over, so I'm answering them today basically. So I did that for a couple hours and watched TV and YouTube videos, so that was my day. Some things are coming in the mail tomorrow, and I'm hoping it is the blue ribbon that is supposed to help whop this skirt. Did you like my sound effect of turning whop? This skirt right here, I'm hoping it is the blue ribbon that I ordered, but I don't know. So I belong to every one of the postal service slash FedEx slash UPS slash whatever text club things that, like, they'll text you when a package is on its way and like where it is in the route and stuff like that through all of things, but they don't tell you what the package is. They don't tell you where it's coming from. Like, even if they could tell me the original sender or any kind of information, that would be awesome. They don't. They give you some like 45-digit long message that I guess you could track if anybody ever gave you a tracking number, but I don't have tracking numbers for half the things I get, especially from Etsy. So you can track usually through Etsy though, so I can go find that out. I don't know where this package is coming from, but there's one coming tomorrow. I'm talking a lot today. And I'm hoping it's the ribbon for that. And then I can see if it matches, and if it does, then woo woo, we are solving 2 problems. So that's fantastic. So yesterday I went on a diatribe about how one has to make sure that you're ordering things in a timely manner so that they get here so that you can keep constantly working. I mean, I do have stuff I could be working on. I could be working on the tiny hat. I could be working on the overdress. I could be working on a lot of things, but I'm not. I'm waiting for the stuff to come in that I feel like I want to finish. So yeah. Am I taking my own advice here? No. The whole like So Honest Sunday is that sometimes we're gigantic hypocrites. Yeah. Anyway, I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow with more stuff. Hopefully I will have this ribbon and I can check it out and show you guys, and hopefully it works, and then I can be sewing that on and ordering more ribbon, and then things will be good again. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend though. I'll see you tomorrow. Greetings from the floor on Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. So I did get, in fact, that ribbon that I was waiting for, and I have applied it here just with pins, as you can see, to see if it's too like blue, and from this angle it's great. I'm in. This angle, it doesn't show on camera, but it's very like navy, which doesn't look right at all, but I kind of think this might be like the best we're gonna get, and I should go for it. So you can kind of see like the light sparking off of it. Let me bring it out here. So like the edges specifically are like super navy, and I'm like, how do I cover that? It looks actually better on camera, which is crazy. Usually things look worse on camera. So I think I'm just gonna go with it and call it good. Now the question is, would it look good on the jacket also? So let me unpin this from here, and I can lay some on the jacket and we can see what we think up there. Because if this works, then I'm just going to order 2 different sizes and run them along the top collar and the sleeves and call this good. So let me see if we can make that work. Okay, so now I'm looking not at width at all, but just at color. And what I would probably do, this is 5/8 inch wide, I'd probably get like 3/8 and then maybe 1/8 and do like one and then skip an eighth or skip a quarter and then do another line of these and like just hand sew them on. Probably around to the buttonhole and then just let the buttonhole be, I guess. Maybe I'd put a bow there on top of that top button. I'm not sure. But I think the color is all right. It does look way better on camera than it does in real life, actually. But I think it's fine. Like, that, the very blue edge makes me crazy. Like, why is it not the same color as the ribbon itself? I get it, contrast and whatever, but like, that's actually annoying right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And get cracking on this so this could be done, because I'm frankly tired of this project and I want it to be done. So yeah, I'm gonna start hand stitching. His Dark Materials is on. Do you guys know what that is? It's a Philip Pullman book. Actually, it's a series of 3 and more now Philip Pullman books that I highly recommend, but they're super, I don't know, some people get into them super fast and love them immediately, and some people are just like, what, for a really long time, and then you start getting into them, and I was definitely in the what category. But it's a direct response to the Chronicles of Narnia, because Philip Pullman was very like anti-religious. And the Chronicles of Narnia, sorry, I'm cleaning my screen. The Chronicles of Narnia are arguably a very religious book. So anyway, HBO has a new series with that. There was a movie called The Golden Compass that came out that a while ago, like I think in the early 2000s, that talked about that, or that was that first book story, and it didn't do very well. It had Nicole Kidman in it, but it explained like the theory of it. I watched it the other day and I didn't think it was as bad as everyone gave it a rap for, so it wasn't obviously as good as the books, but what is, right? While I'm here, I wanted to talk about these guys. So I asked if anyone actually knew how to clean these, and people keep giving me their suggestion, but it kind of makes me think that people don't actually know how to clean them, because they keep giving me suggestions that imply that I should put this in a bath of water. I don't think so. If these are foil backed, and really there's no way for me to tell because I can't see the backs of them, like they're covered in metal, but they could also be foil backed underneath here, that will make these stones go black. So I can't actually put them in water. So I don't know that there is a way to clean them, actually, is what we came up with as a group. People were like, do this, do that, do dish soap, which sounds perfect. I'm like, for normal jewelry, heck yeah. Like, to clean my diamonds, absolutely. These, no. Because if they're foil backed, it just ruins them. So if you guys have any fake jewelry, don't submerge them in water, because if they are foil backed, you will completely ruin them. And a whole bunch of people told me in the comments that they ruined theirs by doing that, so I'm not gonna do that. Someone said vinegar, and I was like, oh yeah, I use vinegar to clean stuff all the time, and then I was like, no, that's probably gonna ruin it too. So I think I just leave them, is really what I came up with, just so everyone knows. Someone else, actually a whole bunch of someone else's, asked me about that book I showed last week because they didn't catch the name of it. And the name of it is Shelter and Clothing. Shelter and Clothing. Apparently you can find reprints of it on Amazon if you want. And there's different versions. Apparently there's a 1914 version, which is the one I have. There's also a 1917 version and a 1922 version. I am so dumb. Can I have you learn from me to not be dumb yourself? To be fair, none of this solves any problem, but what I did not do is look through my own stash of ribbons before I started my quest to find something online, which, dumb. Okay, I don't actually have any, I mean, I have stuff that is an exact match, like this right here, exact match. Like, this is the perfect color. However, I suspect it's too wide, and I suspect I don't have as many inches as I need in order to go all around the skirt of this. I'm like, I do have, I think, this, which is also a very good match. Is this the same color exactly? Pretty close. They're a little bit different. Anyway, I do have this, which I for sure have enough, and I probably could have used. So now I have to figure out if I want to go for the velvet or use this. So I'm going to set this aside and look at it. I have this, which is an exact match. It looks like that's the most black blue I've ever seen. And I have gray that also goes really well with this. So they're all too wide though, which is what I thought probably was going to happen once I realized I didn't look in here. And I'm like, oh man, I should have looked in there. So I have this big bin of ribbons, and I actually have another bag that I'm going to go through too. The problem is I don't buy thin ribbon, and now I feel dumb about that. So when I go look at vintage ribbons, I'm going to buy those skinny ones too now going forward, because I feel stupid that I don't do that, and I should. And also I'm pretty sure velvet ribbon in there, and I might have the blue, exact blue I need. So let me go look in there. This is the exact ribbon I need. And I just had a little wad of it in this random bag that I bought for like $5 for this whole bag. And it is exactly not enough. So that makes me sad. To go around the skirt. It's not enough to go around the collar and cuffs too. It's probably a yard short, I think. That's sad because it's like exactly the width I would want. This is exactly also the color that's good, but it's too wide. And this is not quite the right color. Like you can see that these are actually very different. This is like too light and dusty. So I think I am going to go with the velvet, and I'm going to order some more, and I'm just going to commit and do the thing and move on with my life and stop thinking about this polonaise. Because sometimes you just want to not let the perfect be the enemy of the good. You know what I mean? So I am not going to quest for this exact ribbon on the internet, because I will not find it, and I will order so much ribbon. And there's not really a whole lot of places that sell gross grain ribbon near me. I'd have to travel pretty far, so that's what I'm deciding to do. I'm short by like 10 inches on this. Piecing is period. I'm just gonna order more, and I'm gonna sew on the stuff I can now, and I'll just attach the other piece later, and it'll all be fine. I'm so annoyed. Okay. She doesn't sell anything more than 3 yards, so I'm like, oh, 3 yards should be fine to go around that. It's not. Measure twice, cut once, guys, like for reals. Okay. Okay, so I got in my bedroom. I was ready to sit down and put all this down, and then what I saw was this. And I was like, nope, it's too blue. It's just wrong, I think. I don't know. It's very stressful, especially the back. Like, we really shouldn't be looking at the back. But, like, it's so hard to say. I don't know. I just hate it now. After all of that, after all the don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good enough speech, I'm like, no, it's not good enough, actually. I think is the problem. So I am back to square one. I am gonna hang this up so it's not sitting here staring at me. I did find some gross grain that was supposedly this color. I don't know, I ordered it, it was only like $4. So we'll see if it comes, and if it does, then I will evaluate that and stick it on here if it's amazing. I hope it's amazing, is really what's happening. But I'm getting tired of this guy. So, yeah. Lasai. What about that stuff I have? Let's go look at that too. Okay, this one is lies. Because on this spool were 2 different pieces. This one is practically perfect in every way. Like, look at that color match. It is beauty. But it's only like 2 feet long. Cool. It's a little wider than I would have liked, but I would have absolutely dealt with it. The other one is not the same as this one. Like, you can see them right next to each other. They are not the same color. And it is too blue. This one is the one that I totally have enough of, but it doesn't really match either. It doesn't match either. A little Star Wars humor for you. Oi. Oi is what I have to say about this whole scenario. I have the frustration. I just want this to be way longer. That's all I want in this world. I have one that is perfect, but it is like this wide, and that's a giant nope. So frustrated Noelle is frustrated. Awesome. This is how it goes sometimes. Like, I highly suggest you buy your trim when you buy your fabric so you can tell if this is gonna happen or not, and just buy an obscene amount of trim. When I did the back of this jacket, I actually found some pretty cute trim that I did not hate at the time, which looks like this. And I was like, oh, why can't I find more of that? Except it doesn't really match at all either. Although, it's not bad. It's really not that bad. I didn't buy that at the same time. It didn't matter. It came out just fine. I just think sometimes it works out and it's perfect and it's awesome. And sometimes you're just like, what the hell? And the thing is just fighting you and fighting you and fighting you. And that is what is happening to me today. / right now. So, I will keep on my quest. And I think I'm gonna look at that shift situation and see what I can do about it, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I don't think today's the day. Oh, we launched the website today. We did get up at 5 a.m. I did actually have stuff to do. I was not just moral support, which was cool. It was actually like, I was happy I had something to do, because if you just show up for no reason and you have to sit there for 2 hours at 5 a.m. you kind of feel like, why? But at least I was helpful, so that's that. And I came home and took a nap already because I was exhausted. That's why I look broken. So I think I should just give myself a break today and stop trying to force this, and then pick it back up tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. Hi, welcome to Tuesday here at Padawan Manor. I am still on about this, so I decided to bring it out when there was some daylight. I even took it outside and looked at it in the daylight, and it's still very blue, but I think it's probably actually okay. Like, I think it looks kind of too blue in some lights, and in others it's fine. It's showing on camera just fine, which, you know, I could make the argument that that's all that matters because the pictures are the thing that lasts, but so I think what I'm gonna do is wait and see if the other braid that I ordered is better, and if it's not, then just sally forth with this, but I'm gonna wait just to see. So, and that is the last you're gonna hear about that in this vlog, probably. I'm gonna go hang this back up. I did in fact even take it outside and looked at it in the sunlight, and I thought it was gonna make it worse, but it actually didn't. Also, you might be able to tell, I don't know, I took a black Sharpie and did the edge just right here as compared to like here. So I don't know if you can see it. It does help me not be hostile about it slightly. Like, it goes up to about here, I think, and then it starts being blue again. So, oh yeah, you can totally see that. So it's definitely better with the black edge. So I would like sit there and mark on paper yards and yards and yards of this, but I think that's better. So at least I kind of have a plan, so that's good. I am gonna go downstairs and find my shift pattern and my shift and see if I can make a sleeveless shift out of that shift and like just take the arm gusset out. I don't know if that's a thing that can get done. I'm sure I can repattern it. So that's my plan for right now. I do have to check in at work. I am technically working right now, but our work is very slow, so yay. This is the advantage to like this whole situation, is that some days I don't have to do anything and some days it is a nightmare. So I would rather a slow and steady pace that's always the same, but I'll take this for right now because it means I get to sew. Okay, so I found my pattern that I was gonna use. Whoa, whoa. That makes me excited. I checked out my shift, which I'll show you in a minute. to make sure that this seems viable, and I found a problem. So I was looking around down there for my shift and I found my bloomer shorts, which I frequently wear. This has a like embroidered logo from my friend Noelle, and I were making matching dresses, so we had the double Noelle project. But our initials are both NP, so putting NP on stuff for Noelle project is the same as having both of our last names initials. But anyway, it's just a thing. It was like 10 years ago. So anyway, I wear these bloomers under things when I'm costuming, but also if I'm going to go commando, because I want to be able to go to the bathroom all night. But I don't want to have to go commando when the person who's lacing me up is lacing me up for propriety reasons. I wear these bloomers. So I found them and they are evidently not hemmed at all, which makes me go, what? Apparently they were like ironed up, like they had a hem, but they didn't. So I added bloomers and a hem to my to-do list. Okay, so for those of you who are asking me, Noelle, you keep talking about this gusset that you're worried about making a tank top. What the hell are you talking about? This is a gusset right here. And you put this in your, like, older clothes that don't have stretch in them so that you can raise your arms. Because if this seam went to here, it would severely limit you in how you could move about. So this gusset was like a masterful invention, and it is arguably a giant pain in the ass to put in, although it is simplified greatly by Jennifer Rossborough, who has tutorial on this particular pattern, which is the Laughing Moon 115. You get both the quarter corset and the chemise in this pattern, and she does a class that talks about both of them, and I have a review on this pattern and this class on this channel, which I highly recommend if you're going to make this, because the gusset alone is worth her walking you through it. The instructions are pretty good. Like, Laughing Moon has really good instructions, but like there's something about her showing it to you where you can just watch it 15 times and go, all right, I got it. I don't know why it's so confusing. It's probably not confusing after you've done it a couple times, but the first couple times you're like, wait, what? Specifically with also turning the seams in and stuff and like knowing what to do there. So anyway, I think I can make this pattern and then just bring my seam up to here and like have my arm stick out of this. But I'm gonna try it on and make sure that's the case. Otherwise I'll just make the seam come to here and that'll also be fine. The seam goes up there. Yeah, this should be fine. So I can totally use this pattern. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut this pattern out, that pattern, without the sleeves and without the gusset in some nice linen. Maybe I'll make one in linen that goes under and one in cotton that goes over. And I'll just make one in linen. That'll make me feel better. Okay, so that's what the plan is for right now. Okay, so that's one more thing done, so that's great. Even though it wasn't part of the initial plan, things get added to the list. I think probably just always gonna have that list. It's never gonna be done. So in other news, Peggy down in the comments had suggested soapy water, just like everybody else, for the buckles, and I let her know that that's, you know, probably not a good idea for me to try because I don't want to ruin them. So she did a bunch of research and she found out if you take a soft cloth, or I use a paper towel, and you just use a little bit of damp water, so there's like no possibility of drips or whatever, then you can use that. I don't want to get rid of the patina, I just want to get all the like grime off so that the things are shiny as possible. So I did with this one, and it is significantly more shiny now, which I'm super excited about. It looks a lot cleaner, which is happiness for me. So I'm just gonna wipe them all down like that, and that is how I'm solving this problem. I just want like the dirt off, and there was grime, like it was pretty schmucky. Okay, so I want to avoid the risk of this being the most epic vlog ever. So I'm gonna wrap this guy up because it's an hour already. and call it good and put it out for you, so it'll get out actually a couple days early so you can have it, which might mean you'll get extra vlogs because maybe I'll make them be an hour and that's it, and whenever I get to an hour I push them. Does that sound good? So they'll at least be once a week, I'll give you that. But if I can make more of them or make them more often or whatever, I will do that as well. I just don't want to make them too epic. And I owe you another video, so I'm gonna go film that right now too. See which ones of you guys can figure out what that video is. Okay, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. There's a bell. If you want notifications, push that button. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys very soon probably. I'm not guaranteeing you extra videos this week, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna get extra videos this week. Okay, bye.